All right, welcome back. We're going to jump into the Bitcoin price in just a second because it is October now. We're in Q4. So we'll jump into that in just a second. What it means for the altcoins, for the rest of crypto, for this final leg of the bull run. So I'm with my good friend Edo. So how are you doing today?
Hello, Luke. I'm really excited to be back here for another episode.
Excellent. So as you've seen, it's October the 2nd. And I mean, we've been predicting this if the cycles repeat, which right now it looks like the cycle is repeating again. Just last week, we had the last 2 weeks. If we just go over to not the trading view, if we just quickly go over there, we can see that Bitcoin right now is printing this beautiful green candle wick just here, this candlestick, sorry. But last 2 weeks, it looked like we were about to roll over. Bitcoin was in danger. Everybody was panicking and people were panic selling. So again, it just seems that this was just more FUD, market manipulation. And right now we are going back up to our all-time highs. We're almost there. In fact, we're only a few percent away. So we're just knocking on the door to go a lot higher. So we'll go into this in just a second. We want to also talk about where we are with the different phases, because that's what we keep mentioning as well on our channel, on our shows, and the psychology of a market cycle. We brought this up before. Very, very important, because you're going to experience, all of us are going to experience this, especially if you're new to crypto, this is your first cycle, then you're about to experience the human emotion of this. And most of you are going to, sadly to say, are going to go through every phase of this. There's a reason why 90% don't make money, and you're probably going to experience this. So if there's anything you can take, then hopefully you can look at this and use it as like a measurement to help us ladder out positions and stick to a game plan, stick to whatever plan you've had, so that you don't go through the emotion of panic selling or holding your entire portfolio to zero. So it's easier said than done. So we're going to talk about that in just a second. And we're going to look at the rest of the markets. I mean, right now, crypto bulls, all the space is pretty up. There's a few things in the red. Why do you think this is, Edo?
Everything looks green now. It's true, as you mentioned, during the past few weeks when things were going down, I was like, maybe it's the end of the cycle. But then at the beginning of this month of October, then everything is back to what they were maybe before 2 weeks, before the last 2 weeks. So it really shows that the history is repeating itself again, that everything is following its pattern. So yeah, I guess we already had this discussion, and you always mentioned to me that October is generally a green month, and it looks that way to me right now. So I guess maybe since everybody was expecting October to be a green month, maybe everybody got ready for it to happen, and then maybe that's what also was a catalyst for the market to go in that direction. So it looks great to see that all these crypto currencies, and some we already mentioned them during our shows. So all of them, they are doing fantastic. So it looks great, and I'm happy.
Yeah, I just want to bring this up. So Bitcoin's quarterly returns, especially in Q4 for the bull run, is usually quite parabolic the last 3 months of the year. If we go back to 2020, 2021, if we look at 2020 for our last crypto cycle, we went up 168%. And then in Q1, January to March, went up another 100%. And historically, Q4, except for a few years in that, most of the time, especially in the bull run, it pumps quite much, a lot in the green, as we can see. So I'm not saying that we're going to do 168% in Q4, especially now that Bitcoin's more established. It's a higher price, so it takes more money to pump it, basically, when we look at this. So this was when Bitcoin was like all the way down at
20,000,
even less. I think we went during the COVID pandemic, went down to $3,500 if we look back. If we go to, let's have a look. So the weekly, I remember it quite well. We went all the way down here. You can see it right here, 2020, 3,500. So phenomenal growth since the last cycle. We're sitting at 120,000 and people are still not happy.
It's incredible. I mean, I just wonder how we didn't get into it at that time.
Well, that's it. I mean, most of you are here for sure. It's not everything we say, by the way, is not financial advice. We can't stress that enough. Please read the disclaimer in the link in the description below. So it's just for educational purposes only. And do your own research. I mean, we can't stress that enough, can we?
Yeah, that's a good point to remind our audience.
But having said that, yeah, it's true. Most people here are looking at the altcoins for their bigger gains, which generally is the altcoins that make you the gains. But you want to acquire, me personally, acquire as much Bitcoin as possible with those gains that we're about to experience over the next 3 months. So it's taking your initial investment, if you want, take some profit off the table for yourself, but also you want to get as much Bitcoin as you can ready for the next cycle. So these altcoins, they're going to go down 98%. Bitcoin will still go down, probably, I don't know, 50%, but it won't go down 90 to 98%. We might see a bottom in around like between 50 to 70,000. It's just my opinion, but I think we could go down there, and that would be a good time to start buying again if you haven't done so already. So quarter three was 6%. September turned out to be a green month. October is only the second day and we're already up 4%. So let's see what happens in terms of Bitcoin. But just going over to the Bitcoin technicals, just very quickly before we talk about the altcoins right now. So we're on the weekly, and yeah, this candlestick is printing pretty well, pretty good. So we want basically confirmation. Maybe we get a bounce off the 115, 117,000. So on my show this week, yesterday, in fact, I was talking about, I don't know if you watched my episode yesterday and the day before, but I was talking about the $117,000 level. But when we look at the weekly, it's the 115 to 117. Yeah. So we've got these candlesticks here that have basically finished. Here we've got the wick just above. So what we didn't want to see, which I mentioned, was something where we were going to see like it roll over, basically. That was the risk, where we could have had like a double or triple top. I think it was like a double top. But yeah, this part here, which we were speaking about, we didn't want to see something like, actually it was better on the weekly. Let me go back to that. Where this was the top here. And this looked like it was going to roll over, especially last week because we were in the red. So it looked like we were one step down. We're going to do another step down. The risk was that this would remain weak, and then we probably would have made another step down to that 102,000. And this level here, which we spoke about, key support. If it got broken, then bear market was on play. So we did speak about that together. I spoke about that on my channel as well. Make sure to subscribe to our channels. We'll leave the links in the description. But yeah, we spoke about it at length because we want to be objective. We want to show you the bearish, but also the bullish and bearish. We don't want to just be completely hopium bullish because you'll get wrecked if you're trading, even if you're investing. So that didn't happen right now. Obviously, the week hasn't finished. So this could reverse, but I highly doubt it now that we're in the month of October. And generally speaking, October is, like we've just seen historically, a really good month if we just look back here. So look at all this, the last several years. I mean, what do you think to this?
I mean, it looks like it will just continue that way because, see, today is only the 2nd of October and the market is already pumping. So it shows that this month of October, maybe something big could happen. So, I mean, overall, we could just say that, I mean, all the patterns, they're just repeating themselves. Because you always mentioned to me that October is always a month to look forward to. And and then that's exactly what is happening. I guess maybe everybody was expecting it, so maybe everybody just
That's my concern, though. My concern is because everyone expects, when everybody expects it, it doesn't happen. If you see what I mean.
yeah, it could be
Because it's too obvious. So is this too obvious? Are we going to top out in October? Is the next bear market not going to happen in January, but in November? So you can't time the markets, but what you can do is look at the technicals, look at news articles, do your own research, keep up to date. Now is the time to look at crypto every day in this parabolic phase, because it's going to happen really quick. So right now, Bitcoin has pushed through that resistance. We need to hold above 115 to 100. I would even say 117. I don't want to come lower than 117. It would be fantastic if this candle wick stays around this. I mean, what day is today? Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday.
So we've got 3-4 days until the close of this candle wick. So hopefully we can stay around this level, or we pump even higher, ready for next week. The problem is if this comes back down, if we break definitely below 115,000, if we fall back below it, then it's not good. Then it would look like it will be rolling back over. So as long as we stay strong at this moment in time, it looks like it is. I mean, we're almost at 120,000, which is fantastic. But we've got this key level. I mean, it's very, very obvious, of resistance. So we want to stay in this zone here, preferably between 117 to 120,000. If we can just hover around here, or even break through it, then it's going to be a phenomenal next few weeks, few months ahead. And it's anyone's guess. As soon as we break past 120, it could happen today. Usually, Thursday, Friday is not bad. If it happens today, then expect Friday to be absolutely insane. We could do a God candle. So a God candle is when we see like a 10 grand candle, a huge candle. So we could see a 10,000 candle in a day. I've seen that before. It's rare it happens, but when it happens, it's quite volatile, really quick. So if you're trading right now, you should take in the trade that we showed you a few weeks ago. Or was it 2 weeks ago? We looked at that trade setup. But right now, maybe you just wait out for that breakout of 120K with good confirmation, the volume coming in, etc. Or what you could do, again, not financial advice, is just wait. If you go to the lower time frames, go to the daily, we could wait for maybe a rejection 120, and we might come back down to like 117 here and get a bounce off it for that next leg up. So we could come down like this and then go up. So you want to get in around here. But that's it for I don't know if you want to bring anything else out, Edo, for the Bitcoin price.
I mean, it's really interesting to see that what we mentioned during our previous episode regarding this chart. So things did play out a little bit as we thought, especially regarding the key lines of resistance, and also regarding the trade you mentioned as well. So yeah, it's really interesting that obviously what we are talking about is not financial advice. However, it could also be interesting for people listening for us to have a certain idea of how the market plays out.
And we do have this beautiful W shape here. So it's not the best drawing. And so usually you want to look out for these W's pointing towards that reversal, and that we're going to basically use it as a springboard to go a lot higher. So that's, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of good things at this moment because it's October. Everyone's going probably into a frenzy, buying the altcoins. Usually people tend to spend more money around the Christmas period as well, so they'll be buying more crypto. The last 2 cycles I've been in it, this is what usually it tends to happen. So yeah, let's wait and see with Bitcoin. I think that's pretty much it with Bitcoin. We will obviously next week, and on our show, or my show, I don't know about yourself, Edo, but I will definitely look at keep up to date with the Bitcoin price over the next few days. Okay, so that's with Bitcoin. Maybe we can move over. Oh yeah, just one more thing. Where do you think Bitcoin is heading to at the end of this bull market?
I mean, I just wanted to remain conservative for the end of this bull market. I'm just expecting maybe maybe Bitcoin, maybe just to pass the 120.
Okay, but we've already been above the 120.
Yeah, but I'm just expecting maybe at the end of this cycle, just maybe for Bitcoin to hold at that price.
Okay, so for me, I'm looking at the bottom of the bear market to the top that we've created a few weeks back at the 1.6 the 0.618 level, all the way up here at 190,000. Could we see this, or is it being too optimistic?
Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit too optimistic for Bitcoin to go up to 190, even though Bitcoin has already surprised us in the past, so the same thing will happen. But for me, for the finale of this season, I'm just expecting maybe just Bitcoin maybe just to hold the 120 as a key line of support, and this one could be maybe determine. This one could be very important for where the Bitcoin goes next, maybe after the next bull market.
Because it's only 62%, 290,000. And if we look back at the quarterlies here, 168%, 56%.
Yeah,
So it's not like completely out of the realms of possibility, a 60% rise from where we are now. But like we said, we don't want to be a bit cautious. We don't want to expect that it's going to, because when most people are saying, oh, it's going to hit 200K, the last cycles, everybody was expecting 100,000. It didn't happen. We topped out at what, 70,000, 67, 68,000, something like that. And we've had to wait 4 years. So just remember to keep an eye on the different fundamentals, different indicators, and stick to a game plan. Don't maybe keep a price in mind that you have to get to, or you probably get wrecked. So you want to ladder out. But again, it's just my not financial advice. It's just what I'm doing when this thing gets going.
Nice. That's an interesting strategy, of course. So yeah, stick to the initial plan that you have. If your goal is long term, then stick to that. Don't panic buy or don't panic sell, because it's true, as we are getting through the last phase of this market, a lot of emotion could run high. But stick to your plan, and I'm sure that you will enjoy the reward.
Yeah, so basically what's happening right now is we're in phase 3 of the large cap. So, okay, it's pointing here, this is from a previous time. Phase 1's pretty much finished. Phase 2, Ethereum didn't do too much, but these will continue to pump. But now we're seeing money flow go into these large caps. And then the alt season is when the dominance will absolutely collapse. And this is what I brought out yesterday on my show. If we go to trading view again with the dominance, right now it's still remaining stable here. We have fallen from 67% down to 58%, but this is nothing yet, because what we will see is something like this here, where the dominance will just absolutely fall. It will just crash through the floor, and we'll probably come all the way down to these levels here, 40%. And this is going to be really quick, over a couple of weeks, maybe a month or so, 6 weeks. And that's where the true gains will happen. So that's when we talk about alt season, is when that happens. So another good indicator is the Bitcoin dominance to determine if we're in alt season or not. So right now, the large caps phase 3 is kicking in. If we just go over to crypto bubbles, we can see this. I mean, Zcash, I don't know, I think it was definitely in the top 100. All of a sudden is just moonshot from $40 in 1 month to 150. What do you think to this?
I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible. I mean, I'm just wondering, how is it that we made
3x?
How is it that we made this one? Because it means that last month, if you had bought it for 100, then you are like 300. This month,
The course of the year is $25.
yeah, that's incredible. For
6x already.
those that were able to trade this coin, well, congratulations to them. But it also shows that, well, there are still endless possibility when it comes to cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, I mean, in the week, it's 150. I mean, if you had it at $53 and you were trading this, I mean, it's phenomenal growth. If you had a 10x leverage and you've just made over 1,500% in a week.
That's huge.
So, yeah, so phase 3, we can clearly see is kicking in right now. Especially after the bit of the FUD that we had the last 2 weeks, everything was dumping. But that was an opportunity which we speak about a lot, to buy crypto when it's down in the red. It's difficult to buy last week when it's in the red because it's difficult to buy when it's red. Now everybody is buying in the green. So it's like that reverse psychology of the market. You should have been buying these coins last week, not this week. But anyway, you do as you wish. And Pump, this was one that you've been talking about to me in the course of a month, almost 100%.
I mean, I guess all the time when we look at this chart, I feel like Pump is always pumping. So, well, for those that are trading Pump, well, again, congratulations to them. But it really shows that, there are possibilities within this cryptocurrencies world to still make some money. You just have to choose well the coin in which you want to invest or to trade. But today, regardless of the coin in which you have invested, there is one thing is certain, is that you also make some gain.
Yeah. So let's see with, phase 3 is now kicking in, which is going to be, I think, phenomenal. I'm really looking forward to this. But what I'm really looking forward to most of all is probably why you're here, is phase 4 of the altcoin season. And we're not there just yet. We're still waiting for this. We did go over, but the last 2 weeks, obviously, because of the dump, the altcoin season kind of just like fizzled out. But altcoin season is when this is in the blue, above 75% for a number of weeks, not just a few days, but we have to be there for like 4, 5, maybe 6 weeks. The dominance will come crashing down. The mid cap, micro cap, especially the micro caps, are doing 10, 20. Some of them are doing 100 plus X. And it's an indicator that we're at the end of this cycle. So just talking about that, if we go to the psychology of the market, we've spoken about this before. When did we speak about this?
I guess maybe 2 years ago.
Was it 2 years already or last year?
This is last year.
Yeah. So this, you're gonna go through this. I mean, I don't know if yourself, I went through this. What about yourself?
I guess this chart is always true because it's a chart that shows the different emotion within a cycle, and it should always be true regardless of the cycle and regardless of the price money, because this is not about a certain amount of money, but it's about the different emotion that once we have to go through, because it shows when the price go up or what happens when the price go down.
Yeah. So right now with the Bitcoin bull run, where do you think we are?
Well, I think that 2 weeks ago, I think that it was like some could panic and sell. I think that 2 weeks ago, that was exactly what was happening, because people could see like maybe we are almost at the end of this
Is it
season.
So maybe optimism, this rally is real, or time to get fully invested. I think we're somewhere around here, maybe closer to the belief. And then what we're going to see over the next 3 months is going to hit the thrill. People start buying more money. They start buying on margin, leverage trading, and then euphoria will kick in. This usually happens, this period, when you hear your grandmother or people that are never in crypto, and you start hearing them talk about crypto, then you know it's time to sell, because it's the end of the bull run, because it's gone mainstream. So for me, I think we're in belief. And very soon, the next couple of weeks, we're going to start going to that thrill and that excitement, that euphoria, maybe towards the end of this year, very, very soon. But what you don't want to do is obviously do all this, but most likely it happens to 90% of people. They go through complacency, anxiety, panic, etc., anger, depression, and then we just repeat back to disbelief, and we're on repeat again. So any tips for people that are in altcoins when we look at the psychology of the market?
For me, it's very simple. If you have a strategy, stick to it. Don't panic sell, don't panic buy. Stick to your strategy, and that will show you the way.
Yeah. So sadly, most people are going to experience all of this. But yeah, let us know if you've been through a cycle before and that you've experienced this, or if you don't, where do you think we are in the market cycle of the human emotion side of things. But I think this is very interesting to look at, because it can also be a good indicator to help us sell and take profits off the table, especially other indicators like we've spoken about, the Bitcoin dominance. These are things that I want to highlight to you guys out there, because I didn't use these the last couple of cycles. I was going on more on like gut feeling. I wasn't really doing my research properly. I wasn't looking at the indicators and looking at these major things that could actually help you. So if it works this time around, then it just shows that the indicators and keeping up to date with stuff really does help, and doing your research as well. So let's see what happens towards the end of this year. So a lot of good things to look forward to with Bitcoin. I think I think if we continue towards 120,000 over the next week, we could be in completely new price points for Bitcoin. Who knows? We could be in 130,000 range this time next week as we do more podcasts. It's very exciting to be in Bitcoin. It's very exciting to be in the altcoins. Just stay safe out there. Make sure you do research. Don't trade or invest more than you can afford to lose. It's very, very important. And I think that's it for today. So thanks, guys and girls, for sticking to the very end. Make sure again to subscribe. Leave comments as well. It's fantastic if you could leave comments. It's good for the algorithm. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Hit the bell notification. But please leave comments. We've noticed a lot of people have been watching. One of our podcasts, it was about Solana, had a lot of views, but we don't have many comments. So it's really good if you leave comments in the section below for the algorithm. So enjoy the rest of the day, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.